This is going a bit longer than it did last time, I think, isn't it?
Yep. Simon, should we just go for 40 minutes, 45 minutes here?
Yeah. Oh, you need to plug in. There's a grey one on the floor somewhere. Alright, I think we are already live. Sorry about the delay in the start there, everybody. Massive technical errors, and they're still ongoing, if I'm being completely honest with you. Try that one there. Whoa. Told you. See, you think we know what we're doing? We haven't a fucking clue. Calm down.
That's not it.
Oh, it's plugged into the iPad. Hang on. Right, there you go.
Fair enough.
So, welcome to the Thursday night podcast. Apologies for the delay in getting going. We are 18 minutes late. But we're here. So, what's the matter with you? We are here eventually. We got here. We made it. The title's about clowns.
Them motherfucking clowns.
I don't think it's real.
Nah, you know what? Stephen King.
I'll just like that frame out.
Oh, Stephen King's re-releasing it.
Yeah. Do you think there's a coincidence with that?
There's no such thing as a coincidence, is there?
I agree. Just get the YouTube comments up on there. Yeah, I think there's a viral video. The YouTube prankers have got onto it, I think, in a massive way, and I think that they are fueling this. Obviously, because they're going to get hits, because who's the target for this? Like young teenagers? People that are going to flap a little bit? They're the sort of people that are going to search stuff like that on YouTube. So all these pranks are perfect foil for that YouTube shit. And I've already seen a few. Might need to angle that towards you. Yeah. I've already seen a few sort of YouTube-y type videos and stuff like that. It'll pull down to the head of it. With the clowns. And I do think, this isn't going to last us. This is gonna end in fucking tears. This, I can absolutely guarantee it. Yeah, if people are saying in the comments here, if they see one,
I'm hitting one with my car. If one jumps out in front of me, they're getting it.
Yeah, fair play.
What are you doing in the road in the first place? And why are you dressing up like a fucking clown?
I'll give them a viral video because I will murder them, and then it'll be killer clown prank goes wrong.
Yeah. Someone's going to happen, like, where it goes wrong. I mean, I've not really seen that many because I don't want to pay him that much attention, in all honesty. Yeah,
is the top and bottom line of it. Unbelievable. I can't believe that this is a thing. Oh, these are both got a conch out, aren't they? Do you know what? This could end up being an audio only. This is going to go completely tits up soon. Everything's not charging. And the streaming of these, we're using phones to stream to Facebook, this one to stream to YouTube. They're gonna conk out at some fucking point, so you might have to catch up on the rest of this on the audio. The audio's recorded separately. So the first thing on the agenda was the clowns. It was more just of a throwaway thing while I was trying to think of a title, in all honesty.
But yeah, they don't deserve that sort of time anyway. I'm seeing more hype about them than I'm seeing evidence that they're actually real. People be like, oh, I seen one at Hasley. It's all contrived.
I seen one at Altrincham.
See, I've seen one where it's like, they were just filming, and one suddenly appeared, and then this.
How lucky!
Yeah, no, down a road, like it's some deserted road.
The one where the guy pulls one out on that other guy, and he jumps out and goes, "Who the fuck do you think you are? Like, you don't just fucking jump out on clowns." And the guy's going, "I'm sorry, I don't mean to offend you." And he goes, "Wait here." And he's like, alright, I'll just wait here. Yeah. I wonder what he's getting.
And do you know what I do like though? Have you seen that the uni lad one?
No.
The zombie one? Oh, I meant like someone dressed up as a zombie, and obviously people are in on it, and so like one of them's like pretending to eat out of his intestines and stuff like that, and there's obviously blood everywhere, and they're dressed like zombie, whatever, and then there's people, just unsuspecting people walking towards him, and then they get up and they chase him. Or there's one where I think he runs into like a train, like on a platform, and it goes up to someone and he grabs someone and rips their arm off. Obviously it's not like real.
He's in on it.
Yeah, he's in on it, and then the person there like running like fuck. My mate showed me yesterday.
The thing is, with all of these prank videos, yes they're funny, yes they get a shit ton of hits, but they go tits up royal. I mean, have you seen the ones where you get them like proper douchey white kids in America that are trying to bait all the black people basically to just do something violent so they can go, look, aren't black people violent? Well, guess what? You fuck about with anyone, they're gonna get violent with you.
Yeah, I've seen loads where it's just a prank. It's just a
yeah,
prank.
They
like,
pull a gun out on them and they pull knives out on them and
Yeah.
stuff, and you just think, I hope you get your ass handed to you because you're just fucking with people.
You're asking for it.
You are asking for it, and then you're trying to profit on the back of getting. I mean, some of these get 30, 40, 50 million views. That's a lot of cash in YouTube money. It's absolutely insane, and some of them are pulling out weekly videos of that sort of level of finger, and then you just think fucking, and you have to keep up in the ante. And
what level do you take it to?
Someone's going to get fucked up or killed.
Definitely.
Someone's going to get fucked up or killed trying to do a prank video. And then everyone who does YouTube, well, we're doing YouTube to interact with people, to give opinion and talk about football, but we get lumped in with the same thing because we make YouTube videos with people who are fucking winding you up to make Killer Clown videos, which is absolutely fucking insane. Yeah. There's so many different things.
Next week we'll have one sat in between us there, just saying it.
I'm gonna kill one, me. Anyway, let's move on to. Just gonna hit refresh on that so we get them. The rest of the subjects that we've got. So England, we've got to talk about England. I mean, we spoke about it at length last week, didn't we? The fact that you've appointed Gareth Southgate, who is the most boring man in England, the safest man, everything you could have done, and you just think.
Oh, he dropped Rooney, didn't he? Took him out.
Do you know what though? Every time you get a new manager in like that, I remember it with Beckham.
Yeah, but that was Steve McLaren. But Sam Allardyce had the opportunity to do that because he did say on his first one, "Oh, I've not decided who my captain is, and if Rooney's going to be playing, it depends where he's playing before if I'm going to pick him or not." Obviously, squad come around and picked him, and then he says, "Oh, I'll let you play where you want." Which obviously Rooney's come out and spoke about him saying, "Oh, he's wrong about that. He's admitted it. You know, it made me look bad and all that sort of stuff." But I did read some things where Sam Allardyce has actually got a LLP, limited liability partnership, for like boutique hotels in the northeast, where he's in business with a lot of like ex-footballers or current footballers. Two of the people that are apparently named on that partnership are Wayne Rooney and Joe Hart.
Whoa!
That's what I seen. I'm sure.
Whoa!
I can't remember what it was.
Have any of you lot seen this in the comments? Like what he's on about there?
It was only like it weren't anything massive. It was basically like a screenshot or something, and it was like I don't know how true it is or nothing like that.
That's enough though. There's where footballers are fucking themselves and managers are fucking themselves. Like there's something come out today that Mads Tim was talking about the fact that Danny Webber got promoted to the first team ahead of him. Some point in the early 2000s because he'd signed to Fergie's son's agency and he wouldn't and stuff.
Well, that's another thing. I think I've seen this on Red Issue where because Ravel Morrison last week, did you see it when Sam Allardyce got sacked?
From
all that come out.
England.
All come out and Ravel Morrison just tweeted, no one listened when I said anything, and you're like, oh, hang on. And then I think Red Issue tweeted the article from like 3 years ago when he just went to West Ham. And he started and he scored that goal against Tottenham, ripped it up, and then he scored that unbelievable training goal for England under 21s, and everyone was watching, everyone was buzzing off him. And Roy Hodgson actually said, yeah, he's one to look out for being involved in the senior setup. And then the next thing, he goes out on loan to QPR, wasn't it? And then all of a sudden he gets fucked off. And then in that article, I think it was might have been the Telegraph or the Guardian, can't remember which, that wrote the original piece, and they were saying like when he signed for West Ham, obviously Allardyce has got his agent, and several of the players at West Ham were signed to the same agent. So it was like Kevin Nolan was one, and I think Andy Carroll was one, and I'm not sure, I can't remember the names, but there was several of them anyway, and it was kind of like put to Ravel Morrison, like although it said he's got a bad rep and everything, he had like people who looked after him around him, he had a settled partner and everything like that, and so Sam Allardyce and said, like, why don't you sign for my guy? You know, blah blah blah. And he was like, don't know. I'll think. And then
he was like, see ya.
Yeah, and then he goes, and then it says in the article said it was almost like an everyday thing where it said putting pressure on him to sign for it, and he's like, no, I'm not interested. Yeah. And then the next thing is gone out. So don't know whether that is related in terms of what he's saying back.
I wonder if the likes of Fergie and Allardyce, with their sons being agents, are the agent themselves and their son's the guy that sits in the chair.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? Like they're taking 10-15% of the players' earnings and stuff like that. Like Fergie was on a fortune, mate. How greedy can you get?
I had one. I don't know if I'm allowed to say it or not. about like.
If you say allegedly, then I think you can get away with it.
Well, yeah, allegedly, because obviously it's not true. But I'd want like Neil Warnock when he was Leeds United manager.
Not the what's the word I'm looking for? No, man, carry on.
What? Well, anyway, yeah, he was Leeds United manager, and he used to look on the bench and say, right, 5 minutes to go, nothing's going to affect the game. Bring a sub on. Like, I've still got 2 subs to bring on, and they'd be like, how much are you on for appearance?
Oh yeah, give me half or whatever it was.
Oh, and it was like, yeah, give me £1,000 or something. And you're like, and I think that was the reason why a couple of players left, like promising people for Leeds at that time, because they have made like produced quite a bit of decent talent, and they left to go to somewhere else. More so because I think of the fact that they were sick of that. Because I think
it's wrong. Can you imagine being sitting there and thinking
the only way I'm going to get on is if I slip in 5 ton or something. But would you do it though?
I would.
You probably would, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you would, but it's wrong as fuck.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be allowed to do it, and someone who does do it should be fucking openly criticised for doing it. But you get that feeling of Warnock and Allardyce and Redknapp, don't you?
They're old school. It's like I was listening to TalkSport on the way home from work today, and they were saying like obviously because McLaren's been reappointed at Derby, which I think is a bit bizarre, really, seeing as he got sacked from there, before he took the Newcastle job. Because he failed, obviously, promotion. And it's like the same managers getting jobs.
Yeah, in the same places. I mean, look at Warnock's career. Look at the places he's gone and who he's followed when he's gone places as well. It's like, it's the same with the England job. It's the same faces are in the same mixer, and there's no one thinking outside the box. And someone was mentioning the other day that in Germany there is a pathway where if you coach a youth team, you are judged on the merit of how that youth team has done. Just as much as if you'd coach the League 1 team, a League 2 team, or a Championship team, and it's classed as valid. Whereas in England, if you're a youth team coach, you're a fucking youth team coach, mate. What do you know? And then you end up with the same old hat. Like maybe the likes of Warnock and Allardyce and that should have been fucked off out of the game a long time ago, and you should see more Eddie Howe's coming up.
But you know what you're getting from him, though, don't you? It's like if you put Sam Allardyce, you're staying in the Premier League, and ultimately. As if you're like a
and if you appoint Bruce like Villa, he's getting you up.
Yeah, undoubtedly. I mean, they've spent absolute till. I like their chairman because he just comes out and says whatever he wants on Twitter. Is funny.
Yeah, he's like said.
Yeah, but he puts his money where his mouth is because he wants to get Villa back up there. And if Steve Bruce gets them going, it's a full out.
Villa's a club that I would like to see doing well. Any team that's won a European Cup.
What, even Liverpool? So you'd like to see Liverpool doing well?
Can I finish my sentence?
Well, if you like.
I like to see them at the top level in English football. I don't want to see the likes of Nottingham Forest and.
Put it on no power.
Because I don't reckon it'll finger it, but whatever. I think the likes of Nottingham Forest and Aston Villa, people who've been the best team in. Let's face it, it's the world, isn't it? Let's face it. If you're a fucking European champion, you're the best in the world. You've got to be in the top flight at least. It's sad when you look at it. I think it's even sad when I'm not upset, but it is a sad thing that Leeds are strangled where they are. Yeah,
I mean, I've obviously got quite a bit of ties there because half my family support Leeds, and I remember going there in the 90s, and they were some the rivalry between us and Leeds. Like then it was intense. Like some of the games, obviously fans and everything, especially even the one where they beat us in the FA Cup. Third round, they still were like, there's a lot of rivalry there, and
they travel well as well at the moment.
Oh, massively!
They travel huge. People say when you draw a little lower level, they're saying if you draw Leeds, you guaranteed X, Y, and people love it.
They're a big draw, aren't they?
They're a big club. They're still a relatively big club for what's going on with them.
But the thing is, if you're operating in the Championship now, you've got that smart, and there's that much money in the game in England.
Yeah, anyone that's come out of the Premier League in the last 5 years.
Well, more because Leeds is more than that, I think.
Well, I mean, but you've got Leeds as a big club still. But anyone who's come out of the Premier League in the last 5 years is just fucking balling out of control in terms of Championship, which bleeds through. Which means that even at the Championship level now, there's not that many homegrown players. Managers can't afford to take a risk because all they've got to do, none of them can build in the Championship. Get in the fucking Premier League today, now.
Well, that's it, and that's the thing. Well, is that why Nigel Pearson got sacked? Because he might have gone in there with a remit to say, well, it's not going to happen this year, or it might not happen this year, or the next year, but I'll get you there. Don't worry about it. And they've kind of gone, well, they've spent a lot of money over the past 3 years to say, well, it needs to happen. And I think if you're going with that mentality where it needs to, that's when you're going to fail.
Ultimately, it's going to completely go tits up at some fucking point. People say
and you
Callum
get
Gribbin back yet. Callum Gribbin. Do you know what? I said I'm not going to slag him off, so I'm just not going to talk about him. How's that? But yeah, the thing with Leeds, Nottingham Forest, there's some monster clubs down there, and then you look at the teams that come out of the Premier League, and you're looking at fucking Newcastle, Aston Villa. These are big footballing clubs.
And you got Sheffield Wednesday, you know, like
yeah, they've not been in the league for a long time.
No, I mean they're looking decent. I mean if Huddersfield Town come up, I mean they're a town,
yeah,
and you got like them and like Burnley,
yeah,
if they survive.
But then you've got nobody from Sheffield, which is a big city.
Yeah,
there's a guy doing Munich shit in the chat. Let me just get rid of him, everyone.
There's other clubs though, isn't there, that big cities. I can't think off the top of my head, but I'm sure. What other cities is there where there is no representative in the Premier League?
There's no one in Cornwall, but there's no cities in Cornwall, is there?
Oh, no.
I think Exeter's the
Bristol.
closest. Bristol City's it's two teams, isn't it?
Yeah,
We've got Rovers and City.
Yeah.
Are they all cities in the northeast? I don't know if they're all cities or some of them are towns.
Which like who?
Well, you got Hartlepool, Middlesbrough, Sunderland.
Town. I think.
I'm trying.
Well, there's
Leeds is a huge city.
Yeah.
Birmingham now doesn't have a.
Well, you've got West
Premier
Bromwich.
League. Of course. Well, West Brom's West Brom. It's not really a city, is it?
Same thing, innit?
It's same area.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, you got all them: Wolverhampton, West Brom, Birmingham.
But when you go into the Championship, it's like big games. Like it's Villa Wolves on Saturday, and then
that's our 5 kickoff actually. Because I had a look because I'm probably going to go down. How hard do you reckon it is to get a ticket for that? Actually,
I don't know. Maybe now like Bruce is a bit more optimism there. But is it at Villa?
It's at Villa, yeah.
I always like going to Villa Park.
I was debating going this weekend actually because I'm going to go to Wolverhampton because the 18s are playing at 11:30.
And then just stay for that. You probably could get a ticket. Don't matter what end you're in, does it?
Not really, no. I mean, I'm going to support Cameron, really, because he's having a smashing time at Wolves. I might see if I can get in touch with him. And see if we can box us off a ticket.
As well.
Yeah, we emailed Wolves last week, or week before, from Full Time Devil, seeing if we can sort an interview out of him, and didn't get a reply off him. You think, fucking hell, Wolves?
Yeah, well, but they're going to have their own in-house shit, aren't they?
Yeah, but we did it with Jesse Lingard when he was at Brighton.
Right.
It did really well for both of us, so.
Yeah.
Oh my days, what is somebody doing in here? Someone dropping, "You'll never walk alone." Well, you get out of here, son.
Saying that's going to be interesting on Monday.
Well,
I can't believe this just seems to be like the longest international break ever.
Well, we said the other week, didn't we? We've got 7 weeks before we got a game. It feels even longer.
And then we got.
It just feels so long. Do you know there's another international break next month?
Yeah. Well,
from the 6th to the 19th.
Yeah, thankfully I'm away on the miss. Like I think the is it Fenerbahce and Swansea.
Right. We go from like Monday. We've got a game every 3 days for like 3 weeks or something, and then it's.
And then nothing.
Yeah.
And then hopefully though, I think after that international break, there's nothing until February.
Good.
Which you can really get your teeth into it, but it's just so boring. Like I was ill as anything on Saturday. I thought I got food poisoning from Friday night, but I was just got this virus which is still not shaken off. But I conked out me at 8 o'clock Saturday night, so I missed like pretty much everything. I managed to watch a bit of England, but I was in and out of it and I was feeling ill, so I was like, oh, I'm not really paying attention. And then I missed like the grand final. I wanted to watch that, and also I'm glad I recorded UFC. There was some sick fights in there. Well, like we said, didn't it?
Yeah. How good was Mark Diakese though? We knew he was good, but he's just walked in there and gone, check this out, and fucked him up, mate. Oh my god! Like there was times when he was just throwing punches at him, and he's smiling, and he's just like,
it's easy.
There's no threat.
Easy,
there's no threat coming back from him. UFC debut, and you're like, holy shit! That lightweight division is fucking hammered, stacked, right? And I think he ends up in the top 10. He's 23 or something like that.
At his house, because I wasn't sure how old he was.
He's young.
No.
He's young. Oh,
he seems like a grounded kid as well. Like
well-rounded to fuck. Yeah, just like.
And like dedicated. Like extremely dedicated, motivated. Mainly because he said he used to travel quite a bit from his home to camp.
I think he's from Donny or something like that.
Yeah.
And he trains in Lee.
Wow.
So that's a bit
it's
of a
like
mooch.
2 hours a day, I think, to go to
Yeah, it's a bit of a
train.
mooch, that. ASW. There was a couple of lads from ASW this weekend, actually. But the... I used to think, and one of the things that I used to sort of toss around was, who will be the real breakthrough star for British MMA fighters? And I was thinking, like, who's going to be the first UFC champion? Because you looked at Bisping and you think, no, I don't think Bisping's going to do it.
Yeah, it's like decent,
until he did it.
Yeah.
It was a shock when he did it. I mean, he was the underdog against
Luke
Rockhold when he did it. So you kind of like, okay. So I didn't think he was ever going to do it. And you're looking around at the welterweight division, and you're like, John Hathaway's not really smashing it at the moment. Ross Pearson seems to do very well, and he's a bit of a gatekeeper, gets to a level and then loses, and you're like, who the fuck else is there? We've got no heavyweights of note, and you're like, I don't know who the fucking hell's going to do it. But then you look at what's in the UK at the moment, what's emerging, and some of the fighters that are emerging at the moment, of which Diakese is only one of them. I mean, look around Bellator, look around BAMMA, that's where you're going to find...
the next ones.
Yeah, I mean, Tom Duquesnoy is not British, but that's a motherfucker that's going at the absolute top of whatever he decides to do. He's a 145er, I think, so he's got to go and deal with Conor as well. Probably not, because I think Conor's going to go up. I think Conor is probably going to take this belt off Alvarez. I've just got a weird feeling.
Yeah.
He's just got that X factor about him, hasn't he?
I know, yeah. I mean, some of the shit that he comes out with. That tweet the other day about Fine, it was just mint. You just gotta say yeah.
But he does. It's factual as fuck.
I know, yeah. It's because obviously he's arrogant, he's brash and everything, but you're like, fair play.
You've got when you're backing it up and when you're selling it and you're putting the bums on seats and they're selling the pay-per-views. Have you seen the new advert for it? For 205?
No.
It's good. It's spine tingling.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Sport Bible said it was the best that they've ever seen in terms of promotion. I disagree. I think the 187 one with Aldo when they're walking across the street from each other in Vegas, that was fucking like I'd have ran through a wall after that. I was up for it. But
when you're a $4 billion company, you got some shit up promoting team, haven't you?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Basically, these 3 title fights at UFC 205 we're only about 30 days away from it as well, actually.
Less. Oh no, yeah, it's the 12th of November.
So yeah, 30 days away. When you've got 3 title fights like that, so you've got Kowalkiewicz and Joanna Jędrzejczyk, let's face it, not as big a fight as McGregor and Alvarez.
Nothing's ever going to be though, is it really?
But then you've also got fucking Wonderboy Thompson facing Tyron Woodley, which is... That's such a fucking good fight that it's mad how it's just been sandwiched in between the two.
You're kind of like keeping everything crossed to make sure that nothing fucks up in the meantime.
If there's a pull out in either of them 2 fights, I'm going to throw up. I'm going to be wounded because I can't wait to see if Wonderboy becomes the champion. He's the next superstar that you're going to hear of because he's clean cut. He says the right things. He does the right things. He's exciting when he fights. He keeps it on the feet. He's got fucking proper Showtime kicks. He's
got everything.
Yeah, he's got the lot. Yeah, the only thing he doesn't have is a strong wrestling game, which is what Tyron Woodley's got. And Tyron Woodley is either going to try and take him down and beat him up, or he's going to try and bang with him. And in which case, you've got fireworks.
Well, yeah, exactly. That's why matches for great styles, isn't it?
Unbelievable.
You know the opposites on it. But we'll wait and see to that.
Ronda's got a new fight.
Yeah.
New Year's Eve, or day before New Year's Eve. It's usually always a big card.
Yeah, but that was massive as well, because they're saying that she sells more than Conor. Don't know. Is that true?
I think it has been true.
Mad though, that, isn't it?
She's huge.
Yeah, I know she's huge.
Absolutely huge. The thing is, it's how she comes back now, because we've never seen her lose before. We don't know how she's going to come back. It's interesting to see how she comes back.
Well, the same was said about McGregor as well, though, wasn't it?
Yep.
When he got beat, that's it. He's all talk. He's got nothing. You know, that's him finished now.
Yep.
And then
he's lost before though.
Well, yeah.
She's never lost, so that's a big one. I think a lot of her personality was based on the fact that, and I think she's entirely different.
Did she?
No, she got kicked the fuck out of, didn't she? But this is as mad as it is because in the women's division, you might have Nunes can beat Tate, but Tate can beat Holm.
Yeah.
Holm can beat Ronda, but Ronda could go and take this belt off Nunes.
But that's
and start the whole fucking circle round again.
That's what you want, don't you? You want to see it entertaining and seeing.
You want a balance. I think sometimes you want a dominant champion that just fucks anything that comes near him, and sometimes you want the belt to change hands and you can rise 4 or 5 stars up at the same time. Do you know, if there's trilogies and I think if you look at the 205 division, so you got Daniel Cormier, current belt holder. He's fighting Rumble Johnson, who I fucking love. I love me some Rumble Johnson.
Brutal.
I fucking love him. Oh mate, have you seen how hard he hits? It's like being hit with a train, isn't it? It's just like boom.
Get him on them.
Have some of that. What? So you got to think, can he get his hands on DC? Yes, he can. So that's the thing. DC can grind him down, but if he gets clocked, he's going away because everybody goes away if Rumble hits you right. And then waiting in the wings, in the darkness, probably sniffing, you've got John Jones. So you've got the ultimate bad guy in John Jones. So whatever happens, you've got 2 ultimately respectful guys. I mean, the last one Connor was on. Oh, shit. Was it the one where he was throwing the cans? Was Rumble on that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you got Rumble and shit, who was he fighting? I can't remember who he was fighting. So you got Rumble and whoever he was fighting anyway, sitting there like, oh yeah, I think it should be a good fight. I mean, I've got a lot of respect for him throughout the whole career. And then you got Conor McGregor coming out, you'll do fucking nothing. You're a fucking bum.
I mean, that was 8 minutes of highlights. I wasn't even there.
It's fucking brilliant, and at the moment it's riding on this crest of wave. I think they've got the balance right. I was talking to my missus about this the other day because she was watching the fights as well. You've got a perfect balance at the moment of one massive event, one title fight every single month. So unlike boxing where you can get hype on it for a few weeks and then it sort of goes a little quiet because it's not going boom 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 with you all the time. And because you're watching them title fights, and probably they're saying we got 2 more coming, we got 2 more coming.
Yeah.
So you didn't watch that one. We got 4 more coming.
And it's on the same platform though.
Yeah. So, you know the channel, you know the commentators.
It's different with boxing, and because it's on the same night, and for like
it's most of the same time kicking off. You know the structure. There's going to be 4 or 5 main card fights.
Where it's all over the place in boxing, and it's hard to keep it.
I think that structure and that platform and that. The way they're like just rolling through with everything, I think is what's growing it. Yeah,
they don't give a fuck about anyone. No. Like you could have come to Manchester, done it at like UK time based on that, but no, fuck it. This is what we do. You're gonna do it to us, and it was still packed.
Yeah, it's still packed and still going for fucking crazy dough. So, and you think the relentlessness of one big pay-per-view every single month. And then a couple of fights where they're building up these smaller guys.
Well, that's why they've got to do it, and if they're going to put that pay-per-view on, you've got to make sure that you've got to know
the guys that are coming up. Yeah. So you've got to put them on a Fox Sports card. You've got to put them on some of the non-pay-per-view in America. It's the same for us on BT Sport at the time, so it's happy days. But you got to do that. But I think because it's every week if you want it, it's becoming like football. It's becoming like that regular sport that you can get into.
And you're not just necessarily tied to one person. You can have allegiances to like multiple.
You can mooch around on it, and I think that's where it's overtaking boxing because of how much it's just in your face constantly. And like I said, when they got this title fight last week, they're saying, "Oh, don't miss New York," and then they're saying, "Don't miss New Year's Eve."
Yeah.
So you're going, "Oh shit, I'm not going to miss New York." And then when you're at New York, they'll be like, "Oh, look at this, we got in January." And they just keep honey-dicking you every time. Yeah, they're just drug dealing. And they're giving you a little bit and saying, "You want to come back next week?" And people are fucking coming back. But anyway, I think everyone has had enough because a lot of most of you are more football-based. Should we get into some of the weekend's games?
Oh, please, man. I've been waiting for this. Got nothing. I've got to talk about work at work. Do you know what I mean? I've not had my fantasy team open all week thinking, 2 weeks thinking, what's the point?
Oh, that's a good question. Define the word legend. It's used like toilet paper in today's world of football. Very true. Yes, Ronaldo and Rooney were great players, but legends for United, no, I don't think they are. I would, on the face of that, agree. I don't think you can judge a legend until they've finished playing.
Yeah, that's sad.
And for me, I would say one legend. But then you go, well, what about?
Yeah, but you can't. Obviously, you say Bobby Charlton being he's like the ultimate. I think he's the pinnacle, and then everything else falls below that, doesn't it?
But that's what a legend of a club should be. I mean, your club shouldn't have 411 legends.
Yeah, but it doesn't have to be.
But do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's all relative.
You've got to keep it like a rare beast. I mean, I'm sure Steve Bull is a legend at Wolves.
Yeah.
Would he be a legend at United? Fuck no.
Well, no, but
well, maybe for the goals he scored.
Yeah, but why would he? Yeah, but it's not just about like what you do in terms of you've scored X amount of goals. It's also your application and your
this is what people make
and off the pitch. It's like Paddy Everett. If you look at some of the shit that he comes out.
Someone just said it there actually. Statistically, Rooney a legend for United, but
yeah.
It's not about. You can't be a statistical legend because you got to say Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, fucking legend. But
Wayne Rooney scored more Premier League goals than Thierry Henry, but he's an Arsenal legend. But what's he actually won for Arsenal? I think did he win 3 leagues and then 2 FA Cups?
Don't think he won 3.
Or 2 leagues and 2 FA Cups.
I think 02, 04. He wasn't there in 98.
But Rooney's won everything.
But
that
other people have done more than Rooney.
But Rooney's not going to get a statue.
Rooney isn't going to get a statue.
Henry's got a statue.
Arsenal give statues out if you just went to 16 games one season, right? So let's just relax on Arsenal. Arsenal have got a shitload of trophies, legends statues all the way around the ground.
Yeah.
Like, United have got 3. 4 of which one guy's got 2. And we got managers, there's 2 manager ones.
But they're all, you would say that they're all deserved though?
Absolutely.
So then
the Trinity won everything, and they all got a Ballon d'Or each. Yeah. That's incredible. The team had 3 Ballon d'Ors.
Have you heard about the new George Best documentary?
Yeah. It sounds like it's quite a lot to do with Angie, I think. She's my mate on Facebook, actually.
Yeah,
I don't know if she watches, but hi if you do.
I was listening to it this morning, and it's like I think it's premiering at the London Film Festival tomorrow, and it's called George Best All by Myself.
Yeah,
I think it looks at the angle away from football.
Yeah,
it's
like I said, it's more personal, Angie, it's more family life. I think they're speaking to Angie Best, Alex Best, and one of his old birds who's now a nun, a Buddhist nun in Scotland. Wow. She went completely fucking 180 degrees, didn't she? Because I'm sure she was on it like fuck if George Best was banging her.
But then you got they speak to Paddy Crerandall as well, don't they?
Yes, I think there's I think Bob Charlton, Dennis Law, they all get.
I think Rodney Marsh as well. And Mike Summerby, because they were like top mates, weren't they?
Can you imagine that now? Can you imagine if Rooney was best mates with Vincent Kompany? It'd blow your mind, wouldn't it?
I don't know, because you probably have it like, although it won't be publicised, like probably the Spanish lot, like Silva.
Well, they do.
So
they have put photos up on Instagram in the past, and I think they've just took them down because that people just fucking lose their minds over it, don't they? Like,
at the end of the day,
who was I talking to? Adam McCullough. He's got a mate from back home, Jan Dander, right? Who's he play for? Liverpool. So in the past, Adam was saying today, like he's tweeted like, "Oh, well done, good game." Yeah. He goes, he's on the verge of the first team. He goes, I've got to stop tweeting him.
Yeah. You can send him a text message. You don't always have to be like.
Yeah, but do you know what I mean? It's like I can't be mates because too many people.
Yeah, you can be mates, but you don't have to put it there in the public persona.
Yeah.
So
too many people are just gonna flip out about shit like that. But yeah, it's fucking crazy, isn't it? What was I talking about before we got onto George Best film?
Legends and like the Trinity.
Yeah, legends. So you've got the Trinity. You got Dennis Law's got 2 statues. I mean, does the class of '92 get a statue? I mean, they've become this brand, haven't they? Really?
Yeah. Well, have you seen the plans for the stadium as well?
Yeah, it looks sick. Cool. Yeah. It looks sick.
I think,
Where's the hill?
Yeah.
Where's the hill gone, Gaz?
I think they're a bit gutted about that, but yeah, I mean, it's moving on, but they've got to keep that core to what they want to do, and it's how far they want to take it, I suppose. And you think, well, someone's saying, well, Ryan Giggs, why can't he get a job with this, that, and the other? If you take over that. I also think Giggs is probably putting his standards a bit too high. He's looking at what he achieved as a player. As a manager, mate, you got to go and clean boots again. You got to go and earn your stripes. I think that's the whole thing when we're talking about like Allardyce, Bruce, McLaren, that sort of thing. Is like they have cut their cloth down in lower leagues. Like Steve McLaren was the assistant manager. Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, Paul Ince, these guys all went and fucking took lower league jobs and do well. Whatever with them, haven't they? Yeah, and then that's where you earn your stripes, don't you? You can't look at Clough. Yeah, you can't just walk into. What was Burton when he took them over? Was they champion conference even? No, I think there was League. There might have been League 1 or 2. I'm sure there was. Well, he got promoted anyway, and he did it like with a bit of panache as well. So that's when QPR is a bit of a poison chalice really in terms of how they go. Some managers, club management is just horrific. Isn't it? When you look at Newcastle and you just think, I'm actually sure I could run that club better than Mike Ashley. Pretty sure. I think that's a bit harsh though. I don't. He puts his money in. Obviously, he takes it out as well.
If you look at what they've sold in the last 4 or 5 years, that's a team that should be doing well.
Who've they sold now?
Well, from Andy Carroll, who was smashing it there.
Well, if Liverpool someone comes off you 35 million quid for an Andy Carroll.
But at what point do you say no? You have to say no. We've got a squad here, and selling that player, you might have to go through 4 or 5 strikers trying to.
Difficult that because they had Papa Cisse, and they had Demba Ba. And they were ripping it up. I remember some of them goals they were scoring.
Do you know what? Newcastle's a place where strikers can go and rip it up. For some unknown reason, they go and then they're shit.
Yeah.
If you're a striker at Newcastle smashing it, don't leave. Because you're going to turn to dust.
Dwight Gale, he's bagging now, isn't
he? They look strong at the moment, to be fair to them. But
they spent a lot of money. They've got a real... I mean, for that level, they've got a real good squad. They should be winning it.
Even... oh shit! What's it called? The French midfielder motherfucker.
Sissoko.
No.
Gouffran.
The one from a couple of seasons ago that they let go.
Oh, Kabay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he went to PSG. It's different.
Obviously, PSG come calling. The player's going to flip out and be like, "Let me go, you cunts." But
well, they're playing Champions League and they're winning league.
But you look at they are a selling club. You knock on his door and he's usually got his pants off. He's ready to go.
Yeah, but they're a good platform, aren't they? Because of the fact that they play in front of a big crowd every week, but they're never there in terms of challenging for anything other than the championship title.
Was the last time they challenged for the title under Keegan? Late 90s?
Probably. I mean, they had that decent side when they was in the Champions League with Espria, wasn't it? But that was still late 90s.
Yeah, that was mid-90s. That was that season or the season after, I think. I think Espria was about 97.
Yeah, 97, yeah.
I mean, he was another... Looks amazing at Newcastle, didn't he?
Mm.
And then, I don't know where he left to. Did he go Spain?
I don't know.
And was just turd? Or just clearly not as good as he was there. But yeah,
Howson Benafa.
Yeah, there's... Well, I don't think he smashed it there, really, did he?
I think he did initially, and then if it's sort of like... The thing with everyone in the attitude and application, if you're not going to put the effort in, then you're not going to reap the rewards.
So we're saying, is Paul Scholes and the Nev brothers legends?
Along with Irwin.
Is
a club stalwart, legend?
I think you're going to have to say Scholes, absolutely. 10 league titles.
Yeah.
One of the best midfielders of his generation. Loved by the fans. Had a decent connection with the fans, even though he didn't say much. Neville, Gary at least. Yeah, club captain.
Phil Neville was better than him though. Remember,
early.
Well, he got him more. But then he played Phil Neville left back, and is obviously right-footed to cut in. So it was always frustrating watching him play there because he was better, but to play right back. But he did a job in midfield. He always
looked a bit gangly though, didn't he? Yeah, he did do a job in midfield.
Like Mark Vieira,
top utility player. Phil Neville, top utility player. You think, I don't know. This is the problem because you go, right, who's a legend? And then you go, right, that's the cut-off point. Right there. That there is the cut-off point. And then someone goes, well, what about? And you go, all right, yeah, come on. Sometimes you're going to have to say there's no more room at the end.
Yeah. I think for clubs like United, it's difficult because there's always someone trying to push them boundaries. I mean,
and then when you go, hang on, this guy's 7 league titles, and you go, go on then.
2 Champions Leagues,
and you're like, oh, is Carrick a club legend? You go, in my gut, I say probably not, but fuck me, he's won everything.
Yeah, he has, and he's been there 10 years.
Yeah, he's not even had a testimonial yet. So, and you're like, oh, okay, Carrick's a legend. I mean, that's why you have to wait until he's retired, and then you've got some shithole who's replaced him, and you're like, no, Carrick was a legend.
Yeah, so it is difficult when you have unqualified success. If you're struggling and you're like Bournemouth or something, not struggling, but if you're not at that same level in your Bournemouth, then you can have like, oh yeah, he's a legend or whatever. But when it's United, when it's clubs who were successfully winning things, like you go to Barcelona, Real Madrid, who would you say,
you're like, he's every fucker in there.
Yeah,
just won 3 trebles or whatever.
Just on that La Decima, and then the next one, the 11th, and then you're like, right, is Carvajal a legend?
So I'm saying Charlton got a World Cup. I mean, that's it. Charlton's got a Ballon d'Or, a World Cup, a European Cup. He's a Busby baby. Survived Munich. He was leading appearances when he retired, leading goal scorer when he retired, and also the country's leading goal scorer when he retired. At the point of retiring, he had all of that lined up on his shelf like that.
But that's what I'm saying. So he would be absolute pinnacle, and then you've got to fall below that. And it's like when you say, well, what level is Messi and Ronaldo, and then people below them or whatever, and then you've got Suarez in that cluster.
We've mentioned George Best before. at what point is where is George Best's legend? Because you go, right, Beste, Ballon d'Or, probably one of the best to play the game. He's in the top 10 all-time players, arguably, from people who've watched him play.